Greetings, Joel Barr, one of your elders here at Fellowship Reformed Church. Also, my pleasure to serve as the Vice President of Consistory and on the Executive Committee. A lot going on in the life of the church these days, and every Sunday I get asked questions about where we at with this. And so this meaning, where are we at with our petition to withdraw from the RCA? So to give you an update in that regard, the petition has been submitted to Zeeland Classis. Yesterday I received a letter from Zeeland Classis indicating that they are in receipt of our petition. That then goes to the next step under the RCA's Book of Church Order. So there are certain steps that need to happen along the way. Not to bore you with the details, but ultimately that concludes in a meeting of the congregation where we as congregation members of FRC vote on the petition to withdraw from the RCA, going from the RCA with the request to transfer from the new denomination, the Alliance of Reformed Churches. As many of you know, I have been appointed the first board president of the new denomination, the Alliance of Reformed Churches. We now have staff members in place, Tim Vink and Dan Ackerman, and they are working very diligently on creating the structure of the denomination and meeting with churches that are interested in transferring their membership from whatever denomination they're in right now. We have had conversations with churches all over the country. Right now, the ARC has given out about a dozen letters of intent indicating that they are ready, willing, and able to receive denomination or churches into the denomination. We expect another 20-something to go out in the next few weeks. And with General Synod coming up in October of 2021 in Arizona, we'll see what happens from there. The good news is we continue to have positive conversations with representatives in Zeeland Classis, with representatives from the RCA explaining who we are and our heart for mission. At the end of the day, we are viewing this as a Paul Barnabas moment where Paul wanted to go one way in his ministry and do ministry with one ministry partner. Barnabas wanted to go back to the churches they previously set up and established and go encourage them. And ultimately, they had to go separate ways in ministry. And it was okay because the glory of the Lord and the news of Jesus, the good news of Jesus Christ was spread more rapidly than ever had it been if they stayed together in ministry. And so we are excited about the ministry of the ARC. We are encouraging and remain in prayer for the biblical ministry of the RCA going forward. And we simply desire to seek a new ministry path as a new Reformed denomination out in the world. So what next? Our Zeeland Classis will schedule meetings with our consistory and with our congregation. There will ultimately be a meeting that will be held probably late fall. Following General Synod in October, we expect there will be a meeting in Zeeland Classis. Our congregational vote will probably take place sometime later this year. And then I've been told that Zeeland Classis will likely vote on our approval to our request to transfer from the RCA to the ARC probably in December of this year. And so the question I get asked is, how long is this going to take? Is it going to be done by the end of the year? And I've been told that normally the process takes 3 to 6 months. We have some complicating factors going on right now in a post-COVID world. We also have General Synod coming up. We also have the fact that there's probably going to be a number of other churches that are contemplating the same action that we are taking. And so we are asking for patience as we go through this process together. At the same time, it is our expectation that by the end of the year, that Zeeland Classis will have voted on our petition to transfer membership from the RCA to the ARC. Let's see. For more information on the ARC, I would encourage you to go to the website, arc21.org. One of the questions I get is, why the 21? Well, one of the questions we have consistently asked ourselves as we've created this new denomination is, what does a denomination look like in the 21st century? And so think ARC 21st century. So arc21.org is the website. I would also encourage you to go to Facebook, and there is a Facebook page under Alliance of Reformed Churches. There is new information that seems to, we're posting new information about every other day. There's blog articles, information updates. Tim Vink has been doing meetings by Zoom with representatives from interested churches from around the country. We've got another one coming up later this week. We did one last week. Getting a good response from around the country. And at this point, it's not even around the country. We're having conversations with like-minded, faithful servants of Jesus Christ in Canada as well. And so this is an exciting time. I'll be candid. I never saw myself in this role. Child of the RCA, grew up in the RCA, Rosewood Reformed Church. My grandparents were charter members at Fairhaven. I still remember from my grandma Barr's funeral in the late 80s, how the story was told of how she came up with the name Fairhaven, that the church should be a Fairhaven for the soul. And so my roots in the RCA are deep, and I don't undertake this action lightly, but we are just trying to remain faithful to the Lord. And that's what encourages me. Your prayers encourage me. I've appreciated the support that you've had for me and my family as I dedicate a lot of time to this effort. Renee is thankful as well. My kids appreciate the support and encouragement too.